Om Sadashivasamārambhām Shankarācārya-madhyamām Asmadācārya-paryantām Vande Guru-parampārām Shruti-smriti-purāṇānām Ālayam Karuṇālayam Namāmi Bhagavat-pādam Shankaram Lokashankaram Yada vidya vilasena Uta bhautika srishtayah Tannomi paramatmanam Satchidananda vigraham. So we were looking at the definition of pramaa, okay? Because the author had stated that moksha is the parama purushartha, and to gain this moksha, what is required is jnanam, brahma jnanam. And so in this text, jnanam itself is talked about as a subject matter, and the means of gaining this knowledge, okay, knowledge and the means of knowledge, these will be discussed in detail. Like this, the author has started. And then, what is a pramanam? That was defined. Prakarana Grantha. So that which is the instrument or means of knowledge is pramana. And again, traditionally, there are two terms are used, karanam and karanam. So to get a karya or a result, you may require many different causes, many karanams can be there, but amongst them, asadharanam karanam karanam, like this also it is said. So that which is not ordinary, extraordinary we have to say, correct? Sadharanam means ordinary. The role of this particular karanam is very crucial. That is why it is called karana. Okay, amongst the different causes or karana, whichever one is the extraordinary one, that one is called the instrument or karana. So pramanam means pramakaranam, the instrument or means of knowledge. And again, what is pramaa itself has to be defined. The definition in Sanskrit is called lakshana. Okay. And if a definition for something is given in our text, it is taken very, very seriously to see whether that definition fits properly or not. So if you take lakshanam, lakshanam itself is again explained like that by which we recognize something is lakshana, okay, or definition, or it is called, we can call it even defining characteristic or defining feature. So that by which we recognize something is called lakshana. Otherwise, also in another way also we can look at it, that which excludes the particular thing which we want to know from everything else. Okay, so that's how we know something, correct? By excluding whatever we want to know from everything else, we know that particular thing. So, for example, if you want to know what is moon, then we have to say prakrishta prakashaha chandraha. So that which is having that which is the brightest at night, correct? Amongst the heavenly bodies, whichever is the brightest one, that is Chandra. Like that we can give a definition. So that's the Lakshana. Okay. Like that each object, each thing, anything, even a concept, if you want to define, then you have to use certain defining characteristics to define anything. And through that definition we can know that. Means there is a lakshya also is there. Whatever is to be known is the lakshya, and the Lakshana is the one through which we know that, correct? So like this, Lakshana means, in Sanskrit if we say Sarvebhyaha Vishayebhyaha Vyavrittebhyaha, like that we say, or Vyavartakam. Sarvebhyaha Anyebhyaha Vishayebhyaha Vyavartakam Lakshanam, like that we can say. So that which excludes whatever we want to know from everything else, every other thing. So that alone is the Lakshana. And when you give a Lakshanam, it should not have three types of defects. Okay, so what are all the defects? When if you give a definition or Lakshana, what kind of defects can be there? This also we can look into. So one of the defects, in fact, which we were even looking at last week, is called Avyapti. Okay. So Avyapti means what? You want to define something, but your definition does not include even what you want to define properly. So in Sanskritam, Avyapti means, we say Lakshya Desha Avrittitvam Avyaptihi. So whatever Lakshya, whatever you want to define, in that thing you don't define all the things properly. Only a subset of it is getting defined by your definition. Whatever is to have been defined, something is left out. So Ekadesha Avrittitvam is there. So certain things are getting defined properly, but certain elements of the set which you want to define, they are not getting defined properly. That is called Avyaptihi. So for example, traditionally we take the definition of a cow, okay, to explain all these things. So if you say Goho Kapilatvam, means there will be Avyapti, dosha. Now Kapilatvam means, you can say black color or some kind of a dark brown color. Now that cannot be given as a definition for cows, because there are cows which are white also, there are cows which are brown or red color, like this. So it only defines a particular individuals within the entire species of cows. It doesn't define everything. So Goho Kapilatvam, if you give Kapilatvam as a Lakshana for cow, it has this dosha of being Avyapti. Avyapti dosha will be there. It will not define everything what you want to define correctly. Then another dosha which can be there in a Lakshana or definition is called Ativyapti. So Ativyapti means what? Your definition is extending to things even which you are not originally planning to define or reveal. Okay. So in Sanskritam we call it Alakshya Vrittitvam Ativyaptihi. Alakshya Vrittitvam. So even the ones which you don't want to define, they are also coming into the ambit of your definition. That is called Ativyapti. So if you have a definition, both Avyapti and Ativyapti should not be there. They both are doshas. The example for this is Goho Sringitvam. So if you say cows have horns, like that I give a definition. So those animals which have horns or cows means, even buffaloes have horns, deers may have horns. So like this many other animals are also having horns. And so that definition is too wide. Correct. Avyapti means your definition is too narrow. Ativyapti means your definition is too wide. It doesn't define exactly whatever you want to define. Then there is also another dosha called Asambhava. That means whatever characteristic or feature you are saying is not even there. So this dosha also should not be there. So these are the three doshas one can have: avyapti, ativyapti, asambhava. For example, goho ekashapavatvam. Now this shapa means hoof, correct? If you look at the legs of the cows, you will have this hard whatever, correct? At the bottom of the legs of the cows, you have this hard portion, and there are two of them are there, correct? The hooves, what we call. Cows also have hooves, horses have it, like that, even goats have it, I think. So if you say cows are those animals which have one hoof, means it is again asambhava, because cows, all the cows have two hoofs, not just one. So this definition also is not correct. Then what is the definition of cow traditionally which is given? Is that we say sasanadimatvam is the lakshanam. Goho lakshanam is sasanadimatvam. Sasana means this dewlap. In English we call it dewlap, correct? That which is hanging below the neck of the cow. In fact, in Indian cows, it is very pronounced, and it is not that pronounced, or it's not even there in European or foreign breeds of cows. So traditionally, we have defined cows as that which has the dewlap. The Jersey cow doesn't even have any dewlap, I think. It's even a different species. So there is a Bos indicus species is there. That is the Indian cow. The European cows, I think, belong to another species called Bos taurus. Anyway, that is a different discussion. But like this, whatever you give as definition, using that you should be able to understand or know something correctly. And for that, the definition should not have these doshas. Now, how did our author define knowledge or pramaa? So pramaa,
you said sasanadimatvam?
Sasanadimatvam, yeah. Okay, goho sasanadimatvam is the definition. Okay, so here, what is pramaa is also defined here. Smriti vyavrittam pramatvam. So again, excluding smriti, how do we define knowledge? Anadigata abadida artha vishayaka jnanatvam. So that knowledge which reveals objects which are not known to us already. Anadigatam means that which is not already known or that which is not already obtained. Adhigatam means that which you have already gained or obtained or that which is already known is called adhigatam. Anadhigatam means that which is not already known or gained. And abadhita means that which is not negated by any other knowledge, any other cognition. And such objects, okay, the knowledge which has for its vishaya, for its subject matter, okay, for its vishaya, the objects which are not known already and objects which are not negated, that is pramaa. Like this we give a definition. So why should we say abadhita? Abadhita is a very important part of the definition. Because if you see a snake on rope, that snake gets negated, correct, later. So snake cannot be called as pramaa. Snake is only bhramaa. It is error. It is not knowledge. Similarly, you see water in a mirage from a distance. Then when you go near, there is no water. So again, that water also is negated later on by another cognition. So such things are all not counted as or cannot be considered as knowledge or pramaa. So that which is not negated alone is knowledge. And further, that which is not already known, anadhigata, abadhita, two two characteristics are given as defining characteristics here. So the thing which we know should not be known already, and it should not be negated by any other cognition. And such knowledge, so the knowledge which has for its object or vishaya things which are neither known already and things which are not negated, that alone is considered as pramaa. And if you want to include smriti or memory, recollection as also valid knowledge, because some gurus in the parampara have also considered smriti also as valid knowledge. Some others have considered smriti as a separate category. It is not included in pramaa. So if you want to include smriti also, then you cannot have anadigata, because smriti is always about something which you have already known, correct? You are recollecting something which you have already gained or already known. So anadigata, that characteristic we have to remove and only have it as abaditartha vishayaka jnanatvam. Okay, so smriti also should be about something which is valid, correct? It should not be error. So abaditartha vishayaka jnanatvam alone we can have if you want to include smriti also in pramaa. So the Nayayikas actually consider smriti and pramaa as two different things, and they give a different definition for knowledge. Okay, they say yatartha anubhavaha is pramaa. Okay, so if you have an experience and it is as it is, correct? It is yathartham. It is not something which is again the yatartha anubhavaha goes along with abaditartha. But we also have anadigata here. So because of which this Purva Pakshi comes into the picture now. Okay. Because for Nayayika, jnana is like jnanam takes place by indriyartha sannikarsha, like that they have their own theories about how knowledge takes place. So indriya and artha have to come into contact. And again that contact produces knowledge, and knowledge takes place. So there was like knowledge is born, knowledge is there, and it is gone. So it is all only like 2-3 kshana or 2 kshanas only it is there. And another knowledge comes again. Okay, like that there are many cognitions which are taking place continuously in a flow. So the Purva Pakshi is bringing a point here saying, you are saying knowledge means it should be of a thing which is not already known. But what if I am looking at something constantly and there is a flow of cognition of the same thing? Okay, that is what is called dharavahika buddhi. Dharavahika means here it's a flow, like river is flowing. Means there is a dhara is there. So like that, dhara means flow. So this dharavahika buddhi means there is a flow of cognition of the same thing here. Okay. So according to Nayayika, if you keep on looking at one thing for 1 minute, then there are many cognitions which are taking place one after the other. Okay, because each cognition is momentary. And so in such a case, the first cognition, our definition holds good, fine. But when the second cognition happens, anadigatatvam is not there. But the second cognition also, you are knowing something which is there. You cannot call it error. You are knowing something which is really present, let us say. It's not your imagination. So that also has to be included as pramaa. But what the Purva Pakshi is pointing out is, according to your definition, the second, third, fourth cognitions will not be considered as knowledge because they are revealing the same thing as the first cognition. Is this point clear? So in a dharavahika buddhi, when a flow of cognition of the same thing is there, in each cognition the same thing is known, and so you cannot claim that it is not already known. And so your definition has this dosha of avyaptihi. Avyapti dosha means in this case what? Whatever is valid knowledge also, your definition is not including that. Your definition is excluding even what has to be included as valid knowledge. This is the contention. Then how do we answer that? So here, actually I think last week I told that Nayayikas consider Kala as Indriya Vedya, but that is not correct. Actually, it is our Mimamsaka's contention only, and Vedantin also we say, the Nayayika in fact says Kala cannot be Indriya Vedya. For them, something to be known has through the Indriya should have a Rupa. So that which has Rupa only can be known through Indriya, like that they have their own theory. But we say that there is no rule that only that which has a form or Rupa or even color. Rupa can have two meanings, color and also form. So those things which have only color and form can only be known through Indriya. There is no rule. It is Nayayika's own contention. That may apply to things which are known through only one means of knowledge, like eyes. If you want to know color, color can only be known through eyes, correct? You cannot know it through any other means of knowledge. But what we say is, like time is known, even though time doesn't have any rupa, it is known in every indriya pratyaksha, because whenever we know something, we know it as, I know it, that it is there at this moment, correct? So with the cognition of every object, that moment also is cognized. Whether you do it through your eyes or you touch something and know also, you know that it is there, correct? It is there now. So that moment also is cognized along with the object. Is this point clear? So Kala also can be considered as Indriya Vedya. Indriya Vedya means that which can be known through a sense organ. Okay. So even though the Nayayika does not accept that, we say that Kala is known through Indriya. We accept that, and we say that practically you can understand also. So whenever we know something, we know that it is there at this moment, correct? So that moment also becomes a quality of the object which we know, of the knowledge itself, correct? The knowledge reveals both the object and the fact that it is currently present. So that's what we say. So we say that nirupasyapi kalasya, even though the time does not have a form or color, but it is Indriya Vedya. We accept it that it is Indriya Vedya. And so, even in a dharavahika buddhi, dharavahika buddhehe api shabda means even in this flow of cognition, when a flow of cognition is there of the same thing, purva jnana avishaya tat kshana vishesha vishishta vishayakatvena. So this is a very big compound. So let me explain this again, although I explained it already. Purva jnana avishaya means what? The current moment or time does not qualify whatever you knew before, correct? See, I knew the same object 2 seconds before. I knew the same object 1 second before. I am knowing that object right now. Now the right now time only qualifies the object which I am knowing currently. It doesn't qualify whatever I knew or the knowledge or the cognition which took place 2 seconds back or 5 seconds back. That's why we say Purva Jnana Avishaya Tattakshanam. So that moment, whenever you are cognizing something, at that moment is only qualifying the object at that moment, correct? That time. It doesn't qualify the cognitions which already took place. So it is an avishaya. Whatever knowledge already took place is avishaya for the current moment. And the current moment is a vishesha for the current cognition. That's why the current cognition is called Tattva Kshana Vishesha Vishishta. Okay. So that Tattva Kshana Vishesha Vishishta means what? That moment itself becomes a quality or a qualification for the cognition which is currently taking place. So the cognition which is having as its Vishaya the current moment also. So if we look at it like that, then each cognition is unique. Because even though we may be knowing the same thing, but the moment is different, correct? The past, the moment which was there 2 seconds back is not the same as the moment which is there right now. So this kshana is different from the kshana which was there before. And again it will be different from whatever kshanas which are going to come after, correct? All the moments which are going to come after. So each momentary cognition is qualified by that moment itself. And so it is all unique. So there is no avyapti, the anadigata. That means each one I am knowing newly. It is not something which I know already. So the anadigata holds good. There is no avyapti dosha. This is clear. So this we saw last time itself. And further what? But this is again given only as a provisional reply. The actual reply is given now. What is that? Kincha siddhante dharavahika buddhistale na jnana bhedaha. So we don't accept in a dharavahika jnana there are many momentary cognitions. We consider it as only single cognition, one knowledge alone. So na jnana bhedaha. Why? Because according to Vedantins, how does knowledge take place? The knowledge takes place because there is a antahkarana vritti. So there is a parinama. Vritti is nothing but a modification of your mind, we can say, or mental apparatus and whatever. If you want to call it internal instrument, whichever way you want to call it. Antahkarana means literally it means internal instrument, or some people call it mental apparatus, or simply we can call it mind. So it is a modification of your mind. So antahkarana vritti has to happen, and in that antahkarana vritti only Chaitanya is manifest. So that's how the knowledge takes place. So every object which is there has to come into contact through a sense organ, and when that contact happens there is a modification in your mind, and when that modification happens the Chaitanya is manifest there, and that's how knowledge takes place. So this is how we look at knowledge. And so when we look at it like that, what we say is, as long as the same antahkarana vritti is there for a period of time, knowledge also is only one, because the consciousness which is conditioned by that antahkarana vritti is the same, correct? It doesn't change. That's what is said here. Kintu yavat ghataspuranam tavat ghatakara antahkarana vrittihi eka eva. So till the time we are cognizing something, the same thing you are cognizing means till that time the antahkarana vritti, the mind, the status of your mind, correct? The mind got modified and it remains in that state. So the state of your mind also is the same. It doesn't change. So the Antakarana vritti is only one. Natu nana, it is not many. And further, of course, Antakarana vritti may be same, but what about knowledge? So that also the explanation is given here. Vrittehe swavirodhi vritti utpatti paryantam stayitva abhivagaman. Okay. So right now what we say is, why do we say that there is only one vritti? Because unless some other vritti comes and displaces this current vritti, this vritti will remain. Stayitva means it is going to remain as it is. So if you look at something else by turning away, this side or that side, then the vritti changes because you are now looking at something else. So till that time, whatever you are cognizing will remain. That vritti is not disturbed and it remains. Of course, here when we read the commentaries on Vedanta Paribhasha, they further state that even the vritti, see, swavirodhi vritti utpatti paryantam is given here. That cannot be taken literally. It's only a upalakshana. Okay? Why? Because if you say that one vritti can only be removed by another virodhi vritti, another opposing vritti, then you can never go to sleep. Because in sleep, finally we have some vritti and then that vritti dissolves and then you go, or resolves and you go into sleep, correct? In sleep, there is no antakarana vritti because we don't cognize anything. Or even you go into samadhi, there also finally some vritti was there and then it resolved and then the mind went into a laya. So situations like that can be there. So we cannot say only the virodhi vritti utpatti paryantam, means here we have to say that virodhi vritti is a upalakshana. So we can simply say swa virodhi utpatti, not vritti. Okay. But vritti is said by the author here. And so we consider the vritti as a upalakshana, means again I have to explain to you what is upalakshana. See, let me give an example and explain to you what do we mean by a upalakshana. So upalakshana can be loosely translated as indicative. Okay. So for example, okay, let us say my mother cooks something and then has to go out somewhere, then tells me that take care of the food, don't let any crows come and eat the rice. Okay. Like this, my mother tells me. Or even see, when we were kids, our mom used to put all this vadam in the in our terrace. Okay, during summer time, all this aplam, vadam, nice things, and we were the ones who used to sit there protecting it from birds and animals and all that. So let us say my mom told me protect all these things from crows. Now crow there is only a upalakshana, because just because my mother told crow, if a sparrow comes, should I allow the sparrow to eat whatever is drying there? Or if a cat or a dog comes, will I allow that to eat it? No, correct? So what was meant by crow is, don't allow any animals or any other pranis to eat whatever is there, correct? That is the meaning, that is the real meaning. So crow is only a upalakshana. So like that here also, the swavirodhi vritti, when we say it's only a upalakshana, it need not be always a vritti. So that is a further finer point which is mentioned. But anyway, the idea here is a vritti is there till the time it is gone. Okay, till the time it gets resolved. So we accept that vritti can be there for more than a moment at least. Okay, it need not be only momentary like the Nayayika claims. So for us it is not even an issue now. Since we say it's only one jnana, even the dharavahika buddhi amounts to only one jnanam. So we don't have any problem of avyapti now. So that's what here the author will say. Of course, right now we are talking only about the vritti. But what about the actual pramaa or knowledge? So that's what is said here. Tathacha tat prathipalita chaitanya rupam ghatadi jnanamapi tatra tavat kalikam ekameva iti na avyapti shankapi. So if the vritti is only one, then the chaitanya which is manifesting in that vritti, through that vritti, also is one only. Because that manifestation of the chaitanya only produces the jnana or the knowledge of any object, like pot, here ghatadik jnanam. So if I keep on looking at the same pot for even 1 minute, that entire 1 minute I am having only one vritti. And in that one vritti, the same Gata Chaitanya is getting manifest. Okay? And so that Chaitanya which is getting manifest in that vritti also is only one. And because of that, the Gata Jnanam also is only one. There is no Bhinna Jnana. Jnana Bheda is not there. So because of this, also, there is no question of any Avyapti Dosha, because we have only one Jnanam. If we have many different cognitions, then the Nayayika's contention will come into the picture. So this way also we can answer that. So right now we have talked about this whole discussion is about Anadigata. Okay, we have given a definition with two defining characteristics, and one characteristic was discussed in detail. Now, next go to the other one. What about Abaditam? So there is a Purva Pakshi who is coming here, who is also objecting to the definition from the characteristic of Abadita. Okay, from that standpoint. So what is the question here raised? Nanu Siddhante Ghatadehe Mithyattvena Baditatvat Tad Jnanam Katham Pramanam. So again here very interesting question is raised. What is the question which is being raised? He is saying, you say that whatever Gata, Pata, any object I see is valid knowledge as long as that object is really there, correct? If I am seeing a rope as a rope, it is knowledge. But according to you, only Brahman alone is Satyam. Everything else is Mithya. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. That is our knowledge. That's what you say is Paramarthika Satyam. If that is the case, even Gata, Pata, whatever we know in the Vyavahara, everything is Mithya only. And they are all Badita then, because Mithya is not real. They are all negated. So how can you say then knowledge is Abadita? Your definition of Abaditam, whatever you know, that Artha should be Abadita, doesn't hold good even in the case of regular pot or cloth, because they are also Mithya and they are all negated finally. So how can you say whatever you know is then Pramaa? Like this, there is a question is raised. So for this now the author is answering Uchyate. So we say the following. What is that? Brahma Sakshakara Anantaram Hi Ghatadinam Badaha. So first we say this Badha happens only when you understand that everything is Brahman. Correct? Till the time you understand everything is Brahman, we are seeing everything as real only, correct? For example, you are dreaming. In the dream, everything in the dream world, whatever you see, is real, correct? Only after you wake up, you know that the entire dream world was your own projection and it was not real, correct? But while you are in the dream and when you are undergoing the dream, things are all real to you. So like that, here also, this ghatadi vishaya, whatever is there in the vyavahara, okay, all the namarupa which is there in the srishti, they are all negated only when you know everything as Brahman. If you don't know everything as Brahman, if you are looking everything as separate things, including yourself, correct? You think you are occupying this body, mind, sense complex. Okay. So Dehatma Buddhi also is there, and you think you are the knower. So when all these things are there, then whatever you know in the Vyavahara also has to be accepted as at least having Vyavaharika Satyam. That's why we say Vyavaharika Satyam, like that. So within the transactional world, we give it some validity, correct? Ultimately, it may not be valid, but within the transactional world, we say that it is valid. So that's what Yatra Tvasya Sarvam Atmaiva Abhut Tat Kena Kam Pashyet iti Shrutehe. So for this, the author is quoting the Brihadaranyaka Shruti. So Brihadaranyaka, beautifully it says, so Yatra tu Asya Sarvam Atmaiva Abhut. So for the Jnani, everything is Atma only. And at that, so when one knows like that, then Tat Kena Kam Pashyet, by which, what do I see then? Everything is myself. The entire world is nothing but Atma alone. Sachidanandam Brahma, Atma alone is this world. Everything is only Mithya. They don't really count. They don't have the same reality. In fact, I am the one who is giving reality to all the objects out there. They don't have any existence of their own. They are all dependent existent. So one who understands that, even understands that I am not even a knower. Understand that? If I am not a knower, then where is the question of any means of knowledge or even knowledge and all that? The Triputi itself is negated. I am neither knower, so I don't have to know anything. I don't require any pramanam also. I am Sachidanandam Brahma. I am consciousness. But this consciousness is of my very nature. It is not a consciousness which is manifesting in some manovritti or anything, which is revealing something. This consciousness is revealing itself. It is self-revealing, but it is of my very nature. And that consciousness I am. So that's called Jnapti also. So Jnapti Swarupaha Aham. Like this, when I know this fact, then I am no more a knower also. I am not even a subject. Then there is nothing to be seen. There is no pramana, there is no prameya. I am not even a pramata. All the three are mithya. That is the knowledge. But if you don't know that, then what? Natu samsara dashayam badaha. So if you don't know that, you think that you are an individual who is occupying this body. You have a mind, you have your senses, and you are doing vyavahara with that. That is samsara dasha. In that, we have to accept the reality. So whatever you know is as real as yourself or your idea of yourself, correct? So that's what the same Brihadaranyaka says, Yatra hi dvaitam iva bhavati. Iva is very important here. That means Shruti is not giving any reality to dvaitam. Dvaitam, it is only provisionally accepting what Yatra dvaitam iva bhavati. Tad itaraha itaram pashyati. So where there is dvaita, okay, there one thing is cognizing another. So there we accept, as long as the seer, the knower is looked upon as real, then the known and the means of knowledge also have their reality at the same level, correct? So for that also a Shruti is given here. Again another quotation also is given here. Tathacha abadhita padena samsara dashayam abadhitatvam vivakshitam iti na ghatadi pramayam abhyaptihi. So that's what here it is summarized here, saying that, so from this what do we know? Abadhita padena. So when we say abadhita, we also have to add samsara dashayam. Okay, that qualification we have to add now. Because in paramarthika satya means there is nothing to know there. There is no knower, known. Pramana itself is not there. No discussion can even take place. So the entire discussion is happening only in Vyavahara. And so the Abadhitatvam also is only in Vyavahara Dasha or Samsara Dasha. So that is our Vivaksha. Vivaksha means that's what we want to actually, that's what we mean really. Okay. So that is Vivakshitam. So Gatadi Pramayam na Abhyaptihi. So again Abadhitam also is valid, assuming that Abadhitam is only in Samsara Dasha. Okay, if you understand that, then there is no Abhyapti. So our definition holds good. Taduktam. So that is said here in another verse, is quoted here. Dehatma pratyayaha yadvat pramanatvena kalpitaha. So again here, Dehatma pratyayaha yadvat pramanatvena kalpitaha. That means Dehatma pratyaya is not real, ultimately real. That's why the word kalpitaha is used here. So till the time this Deha and Atma are looked upon as one and the same, correct? Aham Dehi. And also there is some adhyasa is involved in this. So the Dehatma Pratyaya is taken as true. At the same level only, all other things are also there, correct? Laukikam Tadvadeva idam pramanam. Okay, to Atmanishchaya. So here that to Atmanishchaya, like that we have to take. Okay. So till the time Atmanishchaya happens, means it is avadhi artha, correct? Up to that point, like that the meaning is. Setu Himachala, like that Swamiji also has written a song. Setu means starting from Setu, up to Setu, starting from Himachala. Setu Himachala, like that. India is also defined like that or described like that, from Setu to Himachala. Anyway, here Atmanishchayat. Until the time Atmanishchaya happens, okay, until the time Dehatma Pratyaya is looked upon as valid, okay, then Laukikam Pramanam. Pramanam also is Laukikam only, and it is valid in that dasha, correct? So that is what this particular verse also is saying. So if the Dehatma Pratyaya, Laukika Dehatma Pratyaya is looked upon with Pramanatva, then the means of knowledge and knowledge itself has to be looked upon at the same, as similarly, correct, as same level. And so they are also equally valid, we have to say. Like your own Dehatma Pratyaya. But this is only till you have your Atmanishchaya. So once you know everything is only Atma, then there is nothing to be seen. And there is no seer also. That is what is talked about here. So now, Atmanishchayat is explaining here, because that's not very clear, correct? If you break the Sandhi here, simply it will look like to Atmanishchayat, like that it is there. but really to Atmanishchayat we have to take it. That's why Atmanishchayat Brahma Sakshatkara Paryantam Ityartha. So Atmanishchayat here means Brahma Sakshatkara, and Atmanishchayat means Brahma Sakshatkara Paryantam. So up to the time you gain the Brahma Sakshatkara, Aham Brahmasmi iti Jnanam. Laukikam iti Gatadi Jnanam ityartha. So again here the word Laukika which was used in this verse. Okay, so that is regular Jnana. So Laukika Jnanam also has to be considered as Pramanam, as valid knowledge, as long as Dehatma Pratyaya also is considered as Pramana. Okay. So every other knowledge also has to be considered equally valid. That is what was quoted here. So Abadita finally means what? That we have to say that in the Samsara Dasha or Vyavahara Dasha only is Abadita. Of course within the Vyavahara only we have bhramaa also. You can see snake on rope. Snake gets negated, but rope is there, correct? Within the Vyavahara rope is there. So rope cannot be called as again bhramaa in Vyavahara at least. So like this the pramaa has been defined, and pramanam also has been defined as Prakarana Pramanam. Now the 6 types of pramanas are talked about. The Prakarana Pramanam is a very general definition. And also the definition of knowledge which was given here is a general definition, but there are specific types of knowledge also are taking place, correct? Of course all of them have these 2 characteristics of Anadhigata and Abadhita, but they may have additional characteristics also which differentiate them from each other. There are many types of knowledge also, and then those types of knowledge are revealed to us by different types of pramana or instruments or means of knowledge. So that's what is now enumerated. So Tani Pramanani Shat. So the pramanas which we accept, Vedantins accept, are 6. Again understand, everybody does not accept all these 6 pramanas. That also we will discuss. So what are all these 6 pramanas? Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Shabda, Arthapatti, Anupalabdhi, Vedha. So these are the 6 different pramanas. Pratyaksha is perception, you can say, correct? Anumana means inference in English. Upamana means comparison. Again in comparison there is a slight difference between how Nayayikas look at it and how the Mimamsakas and Vedantins look at it. Then Shabda means words. Arthapatti is translated as presumption in English. We can say that it is like a 2-step inference. Okay. Then Anupalabdhi is cognition of absence. So like this we accept 6 different pramana. Charvakas accept only one. They only accept Pratyaksha. And within the Astika Darshanas, Vaisheshika people only accept Pratyaksha and Anumana. In fact, they include Shabda also within Anumana. So Vaisheshika also they accept only 2. Bauddhas also accept only 2. Pratyaksha and Anumana. Then Nayayika people they accept 4. They accept Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana and Shabda. Okay. And some people accept 3, like Dvaitins, Vishishtadvaitins and all, they accept only Pratyaksha, Anumana and Shabda. And Prabhakara Mimamsa people are there. They are within Mimamsa, they are Ekadeshi, they are one group. So they accept 5. They accept Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Shabda and Arthapatti. And Bhatta Mata, okay, Kumarila Bhatta, who is again a very important figure in our history, which many people don't even know about Kumarila Bhatta. So Kumarila Bhatta was a great Mimamsaka, and he has written Shloka Vartika, is one part of his work, where a lot of discussion is there about Pramana. And he actually demolished the arguments of Buddhists. Even before Shankaracharya came into the picture, the Nastika Darshana people were all defeated by Kumarila Bhatta. The Mimamsakas themselves, Mimamsaka and Nayayika people also, Udayanacharya also has argued that Ishvara is there, using their own logic, okay, Anumana. And Mimamsaka have used Veda also, and they established Veda as a Pramana actually, as a valid means of knowledge. So, Kumarila Bhatta is a great figure, and according to the Bhatta Mata of Mimamsa, 6 Pramanas are accepted, and we also follow the Kumarila Bhatta. Okay. So, Vyavahare Bhatta Nayaha, like that there is a saying. So, wherever we don't have any, or in Vyavahara, generally in transactional or worldly matters, we follow the Bhatta. Okay. Only when they are talking about karma alone is the means for moksha, jnana karma samuchaya is the means for moksha, then we oppose them. Okay. So, but otherwise, we generally accept whatever is said by Kumarila Bhatta. So that is our stand here. So these 6 Pramanas, in the same order, we will discuss them in lot more detail. Okay. Each one, Pratyaksha first we will take. In fact, a lot of discussion will happen about what is Pratyaksha Jnana, how it takes place. And again, the word Pratyaksha itself is defined, or it is used in 2 different ways. In both ways we will look at it. And we will have extensive discussions about that, because how we look at Pratyaksha is very, very important. The Nayayika looks at Pratyaksha as a Indriya Artha Sannikarsha Janyam Jnanam. So for them the Indriya and Artha have to come into contact, and then whatever takes place is Pratyaksha. But for a Vedantin, Pratyaksha Jnana need not take place only by Indriya and Artha Sannikarsha or contact. It can even take place through words. So that is a very important thing for us. Words can reveal Pratyaksha Jnana. Okay. We in fact call it Aparoksha. See, others maintain that words can only give Paroksha Jnana, means indirect knowledge. But Vedantins, particularly for us, it is very important that words should be able to reveal Aparoksha Jnanam, because if the Vastu which is known through the word is already available, then the knowledge of that Vastu has to be Aparoksha, correct? It cannot be Paroksha, it cannot be indirect. So if you are eating mango and you don't know it is mango, then you go to someone and ask what is mango while eating the mango. Then that person says, hey, whatever you are eating right now is mango, means you know that what you are eating is mango through his words only. But at that time, can you say that mango is indirect? You are actually experiencing the mango. It is available to you. So, we say that this Pratyaksha Jnana can take place in many different ways, and we define accordingly also. The definition itself is very interesting. Then Anumana is inference. This also we will discuss in lot of detail. In fact, maybe next week we will see in some detail all these 6 pramanas I will explain to you. Then we will get into pratyaksha. Okay, so today I think we can close it here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.